Good morning, good morning, good morning. On Instagram, we are on IG, we are on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Good morning, folks. Absolute pleasure to be back. Wasn't I dropped a NPR Haiti Biz News collaboration yesterday, and if you guys have not watched that, make it a point to go watch that. I have. It was really fun to work with a syndication like that. But again, if you haven't watched it, do make sure you have those coming in. Maybe watching this after the fact. Make sure if you want to catch these live, uh, try to come around 7. In fact, maybe this week it'll be a little earlier. It's 6:45, 6:30. In fact, I forgot. I modified my time actually because there's going to be construction happening outside my office. It's still the duration of this week, so we'll try to get through as much as we can before the noise makes it difficult to do so. And definitely had some real important items we want to talk about today. And yeah, if you want to catch it live, make sure you try to tune in around 6:45, 7. Right? Those who are watching after the fact. We have a few things we want to talk about today. But first and foremost, of course, for those who don't know, www.youtube.com, Seejeanty, a bunch of really cool content around Haiti, where we talk about different businesses, we go to different touristic places and locations, all with the goal of showing a different side of Haiti. Because, of course, right now, with the political crisis going on, that's the side you're seeing in international media. That's the side you're only ever going to see. And when things calm down again, and they will calm down, as they always do, it isn't the end of the world. Um, we have to be reminded that there's other stuff here. There's other opportunities here. And we got to control that narrative because everyone else is. Everyone else is. And we have, of course, the NPR program. Make sure to go out your way, check that out. The links will be below, right? Do make sure you check that out. We have Haiti Biz News. Everything we talk about today will be on Haiti, BIZ, news.com. Don't forget that is there and available to you. BookHaiti.com is a site. Once everything calms down, we do want to hopefully see you on BookHaiti.com. It's a site that allows you to connect with tours agents, in-house tours agents, to ensure that you have a good time in Haiti once you're here. Bonds GoFundMe. The Bonds GoFundMe is still active. They're at 22,000. If you haven't given anything yet, make sure we got to get Bonds back. Bonds being a entrepreneurial community center. I was working with some really talented Haitians, up to 80 Haitians, to help start their business, and it was unfortunately just about destroyed during our last protest, and so we're trying to get that back. So make it a point to give what you can, 5, 10, 50, 100, whatever you can. I've seen one guy give up to $1,500. Now I'm not saying you should do that. But that is certainly it's up there if you feel passionate about it, and you got the money. You know what I mean? If you got the money, more power to you. You know what I mean? But I have seen a few of you guys go and do that. So every time I'm on the stream, I will remind you that is something that is absolutely necessary. It's not about just watching Haiti and the business opportunities, but and the things I present, but it's also about being active, engaged. But GoFundMe, anybody can do. So, and of course, share the stream as you pile in this morning. Make sure you share the stream, share it across your network. We're gonna have a really good conversation here, and I'd love to have more folks in the stream to contribute and push that conversation forward. Right? Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bring your news. I was going to keep you informed, engaged, and reacting in the most optimal way for your business investment and entrepreneurial activity. Today is the 10th of October. Let's talk about it. Top of the news cycle still is Jovenel Moise. Jovenel Moise is still embattled, still having a difficult time to do what difficult time staying in power, I guess you can say. He's still locked. There's still protests going on across the country. School students still have not been able to go to class. Still, we've had reports of planes flying at 25% occupancy for the past week or two. Certainly, it's not a good indication for tourism, and certainly if these airlines keep running these very low occupancy rates, certainly the overall convenience and capacity for even us regular people who live and try to fly in and out of the country are going to be certainly affected. I mean, already we remember that JetBlue decreased their flights, as well as American Airlines decreased their flights. In addition to location, before American Airlines was flying out of Fort Lauderdale, only flying to Miami now, 4 reduced times during the day. And all these things all have real implications to not only the business community, but a normal person who flies in and out, in addition to the diaspora, in addition to other folks. As the longer this crisis goes on, it calls for dialogue from the Senate and different organizations. For example, AmCham were sounded. We don't expect either side, opposition, but in particular, to respond to get to change course. We don't expect that, but certainly the calls for dialogue are happening. We had Marco Rubio, stating that he didn't believe that the U.S. should intervene. Now, I've seen folks, take that comment of him saying, "Well, I don't think the U.S. should intervene," to be that the U.S. isn't going to intervene. But last I checked, Rubio is just a senator, and the branch, the executive branch, is the branch that would be responsible for a military intervention in particular. Right? Ideally, it would have to go through Congress, but we all know that the executive branch has, throughout recent history, done military action without the direct support and approval of Congress, right? But still, one man isn't the reason why I'm hearing, oh, the U.S. has decided it isn't going to intervene. No, just one man in the government is saying that he feels they should not intervene, right? It doesn't mean at all that the U.S. will not intervene eventually as things continue to get bad and this humanitarian crisis increases, right? We have, additionally, next news story, the Haitian Industrial Association went to Taiwan with the goal of attracting business, right? And that's really important because even during times of crisis, times like crisis like this, it's important to keep business first, because once we get out of this crisis, we are going to need the clarity, the connections, and the motivated people to be able to bring quick economic development and jobs to the country. And though certainly right now the economy is no other word for it, it's a pure economic degradation that's occurring right now. It's absolutely important to be preparing for when things are cool. And of course, it's always difficult to imagine things being cool when things are difficult. And just like when things are cool, it's hard to imagine things not being cool. But this is what Haiti is, right? And it's important to keep that in perspective. A lot of folks don't, right? And that's unfortunate because, excuse me, that's unfortunate because what you have in other countries, for example, the French and the blue yellow jacket movement, you have protesters protesting, but no one is changing their plans to go to France, right? They're protesting. We'll just be careful. We'll wait it out. We'll come back later, right? But yet when it comes to Haiti, they're protesting. Crap, I'm never going there ever, right? And, I don't quite understand that, right? Especially given that the protests are happening in large part for the same reasons: high cost of living, a government that was not listening and responding to what the people wanted and desired, right? And of course, gas prices increasing, right? But yet the response is very different, and I'm still trying to understand why that is exactly. Personally, really trying to intellectualize that difference. Now, the Haiti in the Industries Association in Taiwan, the President's Association met with several members of the Taiwanese economy Met with the third largest Taiwanese bank. The president met with the president of the Taiwan Textile Association. Met with the executives and managers of energy, clothing, motorcycle, plastics, and other sectors, right? In addition to more formal government facilitators within the Taiwanese government, right? Which again is very important. And these industries all have the capacity to bring a massive amount of jobs, massive amount of economic opportunity. If one or even two plants were to be here, and what's very interesting is that we're not looking, they didn't go necessarily looking just for the textile, right? They didn't even, the association had a big push of that move or visit to Taiwan was to hopefully try to secure more traditional manufacturing opportunities um, for, for Haiti, right? And it being led mainly by, it was facilitated by the Haitian embassy. It was mainly driven by the private sector in Haiti trying to foster connections. So again, it's really important that these sort of news stories are shared and discussed because uh, it's it gets lost, right? The news cycle currently about Haiti is just showing the current political turmoil and nothing else, right? And not showing that there is stuff going on in the background that should give you a bit of optimism, should give you a bit of thought to say, you know what, we'll get through this just like we got through anything else. There's not much, and hopefully this provides a little bit of that information, a little bit of that sense that what this channel is about, which is business, which is about how do we keep that conversation to the forefront. It's not just being talked about here on some small YouTube channel with a handful of concurrent views, right? And by the way, the Association of Industry in Haiti, it's made up by some major players. ICA, which is the steel company of Haiti, Caribbean food manufacturing, Cimex, concrete makers, a few of the major banks here. For example, Soji Bank's on here. We have some of the major oil distributors on here as well. We have Tropic SA, which makes a lot of bottled drinks here in the country. Valor Canez, which is one of the key places to go to buy certain items um, for your home. And again, they were all, this association is are people who are companies already doing a large, impactful job in Haiti, providing jobs and real impact to GDP. But again, if we can connect with the right Taiwanese players, we can certainly see an acceleration, right? But of course, they can't do it alone. This business community cannot reside in a bubble. We certainly need a functioning government, and we need a government that's not more than just functioning, but is actually producing laws to help the business environment, right? And it's not just a constant, continuous, ugly fight for political power, right? So which most likely, even after Jovenel leaves, there is no reason why that would not continue, right? But we certainly would need that to happen for um, for these sort of excursions abroad to generally be effective in bringing back jobs, right? Next news story has to do with the Spaniards. We have Spaniards at a trying to help with the ecological situation in Haiti. There's a reserve called La Selle Reserve, which is located in the southeast of the country, very near the border of Dominican Republic, just east of Jacmel. And they are doing what they can. They've picked one particular area, again, La Selle Reserve. You should Google it. It's very interesting to take a look at and to try to help improve the ecological situation here in the country. Remember that last time we talked about the fact that there are some private reserves being created by other organizations in the country, and you can certainly see the difference when you look at a reserve that's been purchased and versus the surrounding area. It's night and day, right? The reserve area still very often very depleted, but nothing to the scale of what's around it in many cases. And so the Spanish government, in particular, it's the Spanish Ministry of Ecological Transition, right? That is moving to try to do a few different things in that area. I mean, their overall goal is the economic sustainability of that area. Their goal is also to mitigate the effects of deforestation, loss of land in the region, and resilience of the reserve ecosystem, right? And sustainable development actions. And their goal, the way they're executing it, they're doing a 4-year pilot. Primarily, what they're looking to do is build a plant nursery of native plants in the reserve, right? That's going to take a while. They want to really foster a lot of the native plants that exist. Again, a lot of what Haiti has on its island, especially on Haiti, the Haitian side, 75% of them only exist on the island of Hispaniola, only exist in Haiti, right? And so when we have deforestation and massive degradation of the environment, we're doing the world a tremendous disservice. We don't know what sort of cures we're erasing off the face of the planet, what sort of nutritional impactful agricultural items that we're erasing off the face of the planet. And so it's absolutely important that we preserve how we can, because who knows, might be the very next cure to some major disease that's ultimately being lost to the artifacts of time, right? So so they're using phase 1, a nursery of native plants, and then phase 2 will actually be to reforest. They want to pick a central zone in the reservation and start to reforest that out and grow that out to eventually be the entire reserve, right? So, it's very important to share these sort of news stories. Absolutely crucial, because again, we have things going on, and this is going on outside of the capital by players internationally that are looking to do an impact, looking to really grow and improve not only just the economy. You're only rich as your environment, right? And this is an absolutely crucial aspect of that. Getting reserves. To be quite honest, I wish all of Haiti was a reserve, right? To really emphasize and focus on improving the agricultural, not just agricultural, but the scenic and ecological situation in the country. But of course, that's not where we're at just yet. We got to take our victories where we can, and certainly what the Spanish government is doing in La Selle Reserve should be highlighted, should be discussed, it should certainly be shared, right? So I think that's where we're going to end it today. I do appreciate those who came to watch the live, right? And of course, it's a conversation, so don't hesitate leaving a comment on the stream. Don't hesitate asking a question, posting an opinion, posting perspective. Read them on air. I provide my personal opinions right back. Our best episodes are the ones that we have involved, we have engagement, we have questions being asked, right? Because we all gain something from it, right? And even myself, I've had times when my audience has provided direct information that is of relevance to the conversation, right? Looking over at IG, I do see a few different folks coming in. Farah, Jesus Lover Jackson, good morning. Did ask a question in my directly and then in a comment, and I did want to go ahead and take a second to answer that. And that question was, you asked, who's the opposition? And simply put, everyone who doesn't like Jovenel. That's the simplest, straightforward response, right? The opposition is everyone, right? The other political parties, the people on the streets, right? And now, at this point, even people who are in the middle, like me, are also part of the quote-unquote opposition. Literally, anyone who opposes what's currently being offered is part of the opposition. So again, who's opposition? Everyone at this point, everyone in the country. If you're Haitian and you're not PHTK, you're not for Jovenel, you're in opposition, right? But great question, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to answer that on the air. That's where we're going to end it. Keep in mind, remember, guys, YouTube, Seejeanty, Seejeanty. Lots of great content coming. Even this Saturday, I got a really cool episode. I can't wait to drop. That first day in 2 weeks that I've been able to actually leave the office during the weekend and actually get on site. So again, I won't talk it up too much. You're just gonna have to make sure you have notifications on it so you can watch it. Don't forget, we have the NPR. Haiti Biz News did an NPR segment. I'm gonna say it again. Haiti Biz News did a national public radio segment with Tim Paget. If you haven't watched that yet, the description is gonna be the link is gonna be in the description. So make it a point. Go out your way and check that out. Your boy's famous. I'm kidding. Just a great opportunity to talk about what's going on in the country. And even though it's a little too close to politics, in my opinion, certainly would have liked a more economically focused discussion. But we got to take what we can, and providing a very impartial Haitian expat perspective of what's going on felt absolutely crucial and important to do, right? And of course, getting a little exposure ain't hurt nobody because they did shout out Haiti Biz News and they did shout out Seejeanty channel, right? So that's pretty darn cool, right? And of course, everything we talked about, you can find on HaitiBizNews.com. Again, HaitiBizNews.com. One word. Make it a point. Even if we're not on air for whatever day that may happen. In fact, today I didn't really think I was going to be on air. I was feeling a little bit under the weather. Still, I soldiered through it. But if for whatever reason I don't on my usual time, we can still stay informed because Haiti Biz News goes out, crawls the web, brings information back related to business, changes it to English because a lot of the information is in French, so you can read and stay informed, right? Bookhaiti.com, another site. Once things have calmed down, looking to come into the country, you want to have a good time, you want to grab a tour guide to help you physically be with you the entire time you're in the country. Bookhaiti.com. We have some great excursion packages. We just added Cap Haitien yesterday. Cap Haitien yesterday, right? So again, bookhaiti.com. All right. Again, Bonds GoFundMe. If you haven't checked out and provided what you can to help bring Bonds back. If you haven't done that yet, change that. Make that happen. I'll go ahead and put the link right here in the comment. Right. Go ahead. Boom. I just dropped it. Put the link in the comment. Bonds GoFundMe. I just dropped it. Make it a point. Change that. Okay. They're at 22,000. I'm gonna go 50,000. So there's still room for you to provide whatever you can to help them in their situation, right? And of course, as always, share the stream. Really important. We had a great conversation today. We had good information partaged to everyone. So make sure to share the stream. It brings. We have to have these conversations. We got to have these news stories on the forefront, especially during times like this, right? So make it a point. Share the stream. Make sure you subscribe, right? If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the, IG, new to the Facebook, make sure you subscribe, right? There's nobody else doing this, right? I'm in Haiti, speaking English, giving you news in the right way, right? In the way that needs to focus on the opportunity and not just the triple tie and the problems, right? And I think that wraps it up. Listen, I'm hearing the noise. The noise is starting to increase outside, so I think it's a great time to end it. Until we're back at it again, guys. We'll be back at it again tomorrow, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Peace.